That's the good part about it.
Talking about being an innovator at any age, I remember last year, I think around August, that was the long vacation. Two of my cousins, they are teenagers. I think one was 13 or 14 thereabout, the other one was about 16. They came visiting and they were like, I was trying to engage them. They came to my house and I was wondering what to do with them because I'm the cool auntie. I make things happen. No, I'm not. That's it. So they said they wanted to create an aircraft. That they said they wanted to make an aircraft and they are promising me that this aircraft will fly. Wow. And I said, okay, so how do we make this thing fly? I'm interested in this kind of thing because I also wonder why things are made. That's why I'm interested in manufacturing. I really want to see how things are made. So they told me all the components they needed. I didn't know what they were talking about, but they said bring money. And I gave money. Before the end of the day, by the next day I had spent 13,000. And the aircraft have not started flying. Because they needed something. They were so sure of what they wanted to do. But I think the problem was they didn't have all the necessary knowledge or components that they could put together, because I know some things are mechanical. The thing actually moved. I could see some things moving, but the aircraft was not aircrafting. You understand? And when I started spending my money, I said, let's stop here. So imagine so I believe that anybody can be an innovator at any age. Imagine if they have the right support. If I was willing to spend up to like 50K, because I don't think at this point we should still be importing what do you call it, lamps, rechargeable lamps, you know, sockets and all of these small things that anybody, young people here, have the brain to actually create or produce. But we're still importing everything. So we're still talking about how this thing can produce money and can create jobs.
It's the reason why we're coming up with a training.
Okay.
And this is supposed to be a practical training where every single person will have to at least make a product for themselves.
Oh, nice.
Because it has to be very realistic. When I mean it's not this type of training, because if you go around, you'll be seeing a lot of innovation hub, hey, this hub, that hub, and so on. They have 3D printers, they have even laser machine. But the truth about it is this. If you have not really gone far in producing something, I will still refer you as a hobbyist. There's a reason for that. Because you really need to understand design. And when I say design, it's not as simple as, oh, this looks beautiful. You really need to understand why the power pack has a fan. You understand what I'm trying to say? You really need to understand why are the plug points all on the same line. Why is the USB not in front and the cable parts not also in front? Why is it at the back? You really need to undergo and really understand that before you get to understand, and that is where product architecture comes in. And when you are able to go through that, you'll be able to come out with a perfect design, a perfect product ready for market. And that is what the training is all about, right? Both understanding this, understanding design, understanding how from your concept down to prototyping, down to your mold, and down to production. The good part about it is when people are done with this training, we intend them to display their product for anybody who is interested to invest in their product. And that's what the training will be all about. It's difficult to say, oh, why are people not getting it right? You see, innovation hubs are good, but the truth is, majority of them are half-baked. I'm not saying they are not trying, they're good, but the truth is, they're half-baked in terms of product architecture.
Now, you guys, I know
programming. They're good with a whole lot of things. Oh, let us test this, let us test that. But you see, until you've crossed that phase of product architecture, you won't be able to get that perfect product, at least to market standard.
Wow. So I have seen people make prosthetic legs. We cannot exhaust some of the things that you guys make, because you are solving a lot of problems. You make shoes, you make jewelries from some of these products, and a whole lot of other things. So when you talk about training now, who should come for the training? Do they have to go to school, or somebody who has never been to the four walls of a classroom can be an innovator?
Actually, I will start with what is innovation, and to differentiate differentiate innovation from invention, and also technology,
Yeah.
and
Creativity,
yeah.
innovation, technology, and invention.
So let me put it this way, right? When people invent, it pretty much means that is not existing.
Okay.
Like the first person to make a TV, right, is different from the person who is an innovator who changed the big TVs,
The design,
that we
made
used
it
to know,
slimmer,
and then
added
the
color.
person who brought in the LED TV,
Yeah.
okay, making TVs smaller,
Yeah.
right, is an innovation, right? Inventing the TV is the first person that made that. And you see, you don't really need to be an inventor. Most of the time, you just need to be an innovator. It's okay. There are very little things that has not been made in this world. Just very little. And anybody, when I mean anybody, in fact, even if you don't speak English, right, you just need to have two things, right? Get who you can communicate it, one, and the second is will. It doesn't matter either you study or you didn't study or you've been hawking all your life and all of that. That's the truth. If you have the willpower,
Yeah.
I can teach you, well, I'm a Yoruba person, I can teach you in Yoruba all through. And what you'll be producing will be so marvelous that people will understand that, wait. But you're using
I like that
English
because
software.
Nigerians are going to China and Germany to learn, they're going to school to learn in their own foreign language.
Yes.
So definitely anybody can learn in Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa.
So the most of the time in all of these softwares, right, in as much as some things are written in English, most of the time the shapes, right, of the buttons, it's what really matters to you.
Yeah.
Right? That's the truth about it. And most times we have this software which we use, which is so very easy for anybody to learn. Very easy for you to learn, and within maybe 2 weeks, you're already online.
Oh.
It doesn't matter either you understand English, either you're speaking Pidgin, you're just good to go. But the most important thing is willpower. Are you willing to spend 16 hours? Not by us, we can train you within 2 hours, but you should be able to go home and just sit on it, research on it, and get things done for yourself. So it's anybody can actually learn it.
Okay, so I know that for you to be able to put some of these things together, when people have ideas, there are machines. Just like you said, anybody. It's not necessary for you to be an inventor, but you can be an innovator. And to be able to innovate, sometimes you need machines, which of course you are also going into machine development and and manufacturing. And I know. So, but there are some machines that you had to also import.
Yes.
And you got to learn some things through the machines. You studied how some of them work, you understand. So, a lot of Nigerians have a challenge of importing machines into the country. Part of it is because of the bottlenecks. Part of it is because, like you see, even the cost of clearing goods with custom is a big deal. So even if you have the money to spend on the machine, or you can take a loan to do that, there are so many things that are limiting you. How does importation affect manufacturing? Do you think that if government have policies on ground to help manufacturers, especially people who use machine, there are some people, they want to do something, there are certain machines that are needed for them to be able to achieve it, but because the cost of this machine is very, very high, and also the cost of importing it and clearing into the country is also high. So some people would just rather just relax and let's keep buying already made goods, you understand? So what can government do to actually help reduce? Do you think if, for example, custom reduces the cost of clearing, or if there are policies or laws made to help tone that down, a lot of people will be encouraged to bring in machines that can help them achieve some things.
Okay, so primarily, I think it is important that certain things should be considered, right? In fact, should be subsidized.
Okay.
You see, we are at that point in this country where we need to take manufacturing serious. One, for the safety of our country, also for us to survive as a human being. It's manufacturing, in fact, started from God created Earth. And it is important for us to understand that manufacturing affects all the sectors. When I mean all, including political sector, interestingly, it affects. And you see, importation, it's very funny in the sense that the moment you keep increasing your importation, right, that is a lot of liabilities within your country, meaning everybody will gradually no longer think of acquiring knowledge of how to make something. They'll rather be going to the other countries who have taken their time to know how to produce and know how to mass produce and then give it to you. You see,
then you
this
continue
is not,
to be a consumer.
A consumer. Now, you see, this is not about the money. It is important to know how to engage people. There is that aspect.
Yeah.
However, the way what government can do is one, right, to ensure that they subsidize manufacturing. When I say subsidize manufacturing, I'm not talking about the big manufacturers.
Okay.
They are already established. I'm talking about innovators going into manufacturing from importing of the machines. Right, CBN will say, okay, if you want to import, come and take dollar at this rate. That is still, there's a lot of bottleneck there. In fact, that is not helping. That's the honest truth. The last time when I tried something like that at the bank, I was told I need to fill a particular form. It will take about 3 to about 4 months before you even get results. That is if it will be accepted or not. And I asked myself, so I should wait and be doing what?
They didn't ask you to bring your great-grandfather's
so now,
land.
This is me with my own money, not they giving me money just because I want to buy dollar at an official rate. But so I ended up buying it using the black market, which already is a loss in the manufacturing sector. So first and foremost, machines, right? When I mean machines, I'm talking about machines that make things. I'm not talking about the end product.
Products, yeah.
Now, this machine should be subsidized. One, to encourage people to go into manufacturing. Even if it means government partnering using that mean, right, with companies. Even the big companies. It is important that big companies keep expanding in your country. It is very important. And when we talk about innovators, people usually will do something like this. Oh, I want to invest in you as an innovator. I'm giving you 10 million naira. I expect the 10 million naira, right, to for you to use it for what you've spent years in, right, so that you start multiplying. So within the next 6 months, I expect the 10 million to have turned to 2 million and so on. That is poor knowledge of investment. Because first and foremost, someone who has taken his time wants to recoup, not just recoup, wants to better his life. So part of the challenge that people face, right, aside from government policies, is also investors. Now, investors, of course, just wants to duplicate their money. However, government should know that government will always be the biggest investor. That's the honest truth, because, you know, however, there are private investors also. There is also the aspect of space. As an innovator, it's not easy for you to go and get a warehouse. And when you see government organizations that have built this for the use of it, you can easily approach them for the use. They say, oh, you can go to so and so place, you can do all of that. But the truth is, it's not so. It's not so. If you're not connected, even producing something as simple as, let's say, hearing, they say, oh, it's your business. You see, it's not so true that it's your business. We are at that point in the country where it is not, you're not supposed to take innovator as it is your business. Let them grow first before you start saying that to them. But you see, they've killed a lot of people's dream. A lot of people have traveled abroad to go and set up abroad.
Yeah.
And they will just pitch by just using just a little sample. And then people start investing in them. As an investor, right, I will invest in someone who already has a space. I wouldn't be willing to give the person my money, right, to get a space. It would be good if we have such investors, but practically, what is existing is most investors do not want you to use their money for rent.
Yeah.
That is true. They just want you to use the money to either expand, buy more materials, sell to the market.
Yeah.
That is the truth. However, so I don't blame public investors that way. But government should be able to get this space ready for people to use.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be on a biased level where it has to be, someone. Let it be, in fact, on a prototype level, show exactly what you need the space for. Even if it's just
So, do you know any organization that is responsible for making that happen?
Well, there are a lot of organizations. For instance, I know Smedan has a place, which unfortunately, we are still in discussion as to how that can be used, the space. But there's so many organizations under technology. I think NIDA equally has a space. But what are they really doing? They're saying they're doing training. They're doing training. You're continuously doing training. But where are their products?
So we're not converting.
So yes, so it's not really bringing out, and you see, it doesn't really end there. When someone produces something, for instance, right? When someone produces something, don't just drop the person there, right? Get the person.
Help the person.
Yes.
So go beyond this.
Yes,
let's see the products in the market already.
I've been an innovator for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I can stand and categorically tell you every single challenge along the line.
Yeah.
Most innovators do not have time to write proposal. They do not have time for presentation. They can't do everything. Most people say, as an innovator, you should equally learn how to put together your account, how to put together.
No.
You see, that it doesn't really work that way. It takes you to drop that and then go and learn the other aspect. You would have killed a lot of inspiration within the person over that period of time.
Because the person can actually employ somebody to put the paperwork together.
And that is the reason why there's something called teamwork. It's also what we're doing in our training. If you're interested in designing and you're interested in manufacturing and you're interested in just the paperwork, right? You people should team up.
Yeah.
You see, but you see, if the government is not focusing on this, they will, and every other sector will collapse gradually. For instance, agriculture is having that problem. It's not because we don't have people who are interested in agriculture, but nobody wants to carry wool. Why should they carry wool in this age and time? It's not until you provide them tractors. In fact, speaking of providing tractors, right? Someone is building a tractor and it doesn't have a design. It's not like it's bad, but you should understand that it's going to produce at a very low capacity.
Yeah.
That's the
because
truth.
with a design, you now have parts ready. So if you have any challenges, you continue to improve, or when you have mechanical problems, you have parts that can be replaced.
Yes. So it is important that government really understands this, and customs, yes. However, if the policy is if products are already subsidized, right? I think customs will equally understand that, okay, these are machineries that shouldn't be taxed. That is the truth. They should allow machines that make things come in easily. That's what we should be importing. In fact, every country right now, US is equally facing that challenge, trying to bring back their manufacturing sector. What they are working on is how do we get these machines over here?
Yeah.
That's in fact the most important thing. If the government is waiting, we make it so hard for people to the extent where they will have to be creative, it can't work. We are in the age of information.
Yeah.
The next thing everybody will do is trying to get out of your economy.
Honestly,
if you keep saying that, let them go, they will go. And it's a matter of time.
People are leaving.
Yes, it's a matter of time when hooligans will take control It will seem impossible, but you see, it will work that way. There's an extent to which you push human limits, right? There is a limit to it. Because these people are equally not stupid as you think. They might not have your capacity, but believe me, they talk within themselves. Before you know it, people will build a colony. Before you know it, they will have a gang in the military. Before you know it, and before you would say Jack Robinson, off you go, a coup. So what I'm trying to say is this. Manufacturing can take care of all of this, to engage people. It is important to engage people in some activity.
Yeah.
Even as simple as a card, even as simple as a key holder, even as simple as a hearing, as simple, I mean, there's too much problem.
There's too much, yeah.
that manufacturing can do all of that. It's not about, oh, you don't want to make your people rich. Hey, they just need to live a standard life. Majority of these people are not craving to be billionaires or multimillionaires.
They're not asking for too much.
They just want to survive be okay.
Yeah.
But if you have to take them to say, no, you can go back to your village and go and do some form of farming, you're joking. Robbery pays better than doing that. Let us really be practical.
Yeah.
It pays to do one chance. I'm not advocating for that. But I'm telling you that if you plant corn, you have to wait 3 months. You will rob a night and you'll get that same money. That is the practical truth. So what I'm trying to say is that virtually all of this problem, the same thing with the health sector. Every doctor is fleeing because, number one, the pay, that is true. And secondly, the equipment. When we're talking about equipment, we're speaking of just only one aspect in the economy, manufacturing. That's where technology comes into place. Because technology is not programming. That's what people actually think. No, technology is not programming. Actually, technology is scientific knowledge. That's what technology is. Scientific knowledge. It's not really programming. Okay? Which is manufacturing. It is manufacturing. So it is important that the government not only pay attention, but subsidize manufacturing. And that will revive the economy within a short period of time. Okay,
I hope they are listening. I hope they will take the action. So government, you have a whole lot to do in this aspect. And now we're going to go straight to talking about, what do you call it? Registrations, right? We have, we're talking about bottlenecks. We're bringing it back. And, you know, when you produce something or when you manufacture something or you are an innovator, like you have said, when I think that you have a right to your product. I know that there are lots of things you're doing behind the scene. There are so many things we're not showing here because you're waiting to patent.
Yes.
And because you're waiting to patent fantastic products, you see them in the markets very, very soon. But some of the challenges you're facing is also because you want to protect your rights and ownership of those things. So let's talk about that. What are the challenges?
Okay, so when you make an object, either it's existing somewhere else or it's an absolute invention, one of the things that will give an investor confidence is patent.
Patent.
Right? It's very, very important. And that is the only reason why I would either invest $1 million in your project or invest 100 million. Or in fact, or go to the bank and take a loan just for your product. But if it takes a year, I mean, in fact, even if it takes 6 months, now they're going to say, oh, they're doing some investigation. What are you really investigating? These things are online. Is it there or it is not there? In fact, if it's existing in another country, like there are a whole lot of products produced in China that are in other countries, but then they still get patent for it within their country. Patent, most of the time, it's for your country. As long as you can produce the design and either show this to some extent, right, it's your property.
Yeah.
Even if this was made in America and I copied exactly, however, I did the design. Because when people mention this word local content, and people say how many percent of local content, I just look at them like, so long as it's designed, that's 100% local content.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for the person to be the one to make the resin before it becomes 100%, you're absolutely wrong. People make things elsewhere without even defining which country it's made from.
Yeah.
For instance, motherboard, a lot of motherboard are either made from Germany, Vietnam, China, and so on. But another person making it in either Japan or either, it's design. That's innovation, that's invention, right? As long as that design, it's there and it's not within the country, I think it should swiftly be patented
in that,
that's where the person
the country of origin.
Yes, the person can proceed with it to either pitch it to an investor or for the government to assist in mass producing it. But if their bottlenecks are around patenting, it's just a way of deliberately slowing people's life down. Why do you really need to slow it down anyway? Waiting for them not
so
to
I don't know, but because we don't even know the parameters they use for their investigation, because I feel if you're investigating something, 1 month is enough to me. 1 month is enough if you have the resources that is needed, because a lot of Nigerians are producing things and they want to have they want to be able to protect their intellectual properties. But if you're taking that long to get it done, then these are some of the issues that we were using to actually slow ourselves down or put our people at a disadvantaged position. So we're going to go back into talking about, and that's the last thing we'll be talking about, the training. So I know you're interested in children because you talked we talked some time ago and you were talking about talented children, teenagers, young people, adults. Why should we pay attention? Because I see kids outside this country at 7, 6, 10 going to Harvard. You understand? I don't understand how, because they said their IQ is high, they are capable of understanding ABCD, and all of that, and they are going to high institutions. Some of them are even visiting lecturers. I don't understand that. But here, we don't even know how to measure. We've not seen kids that are outstanding. How do we find these children? What do we do to help them? And let's talk about, also mention when the training is coming up.
Okay.
Or what you'll be training about.
Okay. So let me start with what was my dream when I was small that people laughed at me about. Let me tell you, flying car. It's funny, right? But do you know they are now existing?
Yes, they exist.
I mean, that looks weird. And then in 1996, thereabout, if I say, oh my God, I just wish to make a car that can fly. And everybody would just laugh at me. Today, there are flying cars in China,
in Dubai,
in Slovakia. It's the new type of machines coming into play. So what I'm trying to say is this. You see, if I had someone who had trained me earlier, and I have been focused on that dream for about 10 years, I would have achieved that a very long time ago.
True.
And that brings about talented children. There are some children, their dedication, their will, right, are so strong that they know already what they want to do. Leave it or take it. Shift them left and right. Postpone their future. They just know what they're just going to do. And these children, it is important we harness their gifts. We make them realize this treasure on time. Before they go outside the country, and a foreigner, we invest in them, we own half of that, and it will be said, oh, this was done by an American in America. And I'm asking myself, wait, that's an African person from Nigeria. Where and how did you people just switch it? Because it's an inventor.
Yes.
They know it's what makes your country outstanding. That is what makes every country. That is the pride of a country, when you have as many inventors as possible. So it is important that we leverage on getting these people the right knowledge, the right tool, the right training, the right environment, right? And to help them grow on time.
Yeah.
It's not all about you have to pass your WAEC, you have to go to so. No. Some things are just unnecessary. I'm not saying education is not important. I'm saying in certain aspects, right? In as much as the child is going to a school, it should also have that outer aspect in his life that must not be killed.
Yeah.
You know, it's very important, and also that is part of what we are bringing in this training. How children can have their own aspects.
Okay.
Talented children. Parents, if you know you have this special child that just like tools, that like, let me put this word, that like destroying things.
Yes.
Because people don't understand that aspect. Believe me, I was so flogged for destroying a lot of things.
Because they are curious. They always want to open these.
Actually, because I needed to understand
how it works.
How that works. So, you see, if you have such a child, believe me, you have a good mind.
Sure.
A very serious good mind. And all you just need to do is just push that child into training and see what comes out within a year. So, that's what this training is also about, right? Harnessing talented children, right? Bringing out what their intent. You understand what I'm trying to say? What they have within them. We should be able to get that done, and also give them a very good environment. Of course, safety, being children, and all of that, which is what this training is all about. We will be training right from understanding what manufacturing is about, down to they testing their hands on different tools, down to they understanding how to make a product, down to they having the opportunity of presenting their products to an investor. Also, if it's a unique product, you will have the advantage of also of we introducing you to NOTAP, which is the government appointed office for patenting. You know, all of that is what we want to make available, which is important for an innovator, and with ease.
So if you've been following, we've been talking to Mr. Ayodele Tayo. He's and he likes to call himself an innovator. I think he's an inventor also, and you know, he's the one advocating for people who want to be trained. He believes that Nigerian government should support young people to learn how to use their hands, their brains, and their minds to produce probably almost everything that we need to use that is useful in our environment, in our houses, in our offices, that can be useful for us so that we can boost our economy, so we can stop importing goods that we can just easily make. So because you don't have the enabling environment, or because you don't know where to go to learn whatever it is that you want to learn, this is an avenue. We're not showing you that somebody in Nigeria is making all of this happen. While you're watching this interview, you're going to be seeing a lot of things that will be showing on the screen that we did not even display here. So you have the opportunity and you know the place to come and learn. So tell your local government chairman, tell your senator, tell your state governor that you need this training in your state. If you're listening to me and you have the opportunity and the power to make this happen, please contact SATFORMS through this platform, and we're going to introduce you to every other thing that you can see here, so that you have the opportunity to learn, and together we're going to make Nigeria and Nigerians very, very rich. So thank you so much for joining, and God bless. See you next time on I Am Joyce. Like you know, we always talk about business, real estate, manufacturing, travels, lifestyle, and technology.